I'd like to welcome you all to our Working with Portraits webinar designed to support the school annual online yearbook program. Our goal this afternoon will be the focus and function of the program associated with student portraits. Specifically, we will be reviewing portrait class sheets for and printing these for the teachers and parents to review and correct, strategies for detecting duplicate images, creating correcting student names, categorizing students using the flow function to create portraits on the pages, uh, portrait pages. This webinar will be approximately 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's First off, we're going to talk about printing class sheets. And these are the sheets that you're going to send to your staff or to your teachers or to whoever is helping out. And these are to make sure that one, that every student is accounted for. Two, make sure every student's name is spelled correctly. And three, to make sure that the correct students are in the correct classrooms. So to do that, what we're going to do is here in our image library, we're going to go over to portraits, and we're going to click this little arrow, and we're going to see all of our portraits are right here. So we're going to click on the first class right here. Then we're going to go up and to the left, or up to the right here. We'll see like edit category, toggle saving images for the 2026 book. Next one we'll see right here is PDF preview. So we're going to click on that. And here, right here, will be the PDF that you can print out or you can download in email. But this right here will have each student along with the student name underneath it. So right here, you can actually send this to the teacher and say, please make sure that the students are correct. And underneath their names, you can write their name that the way it needs to be, or if they don't want a nickname, they want their full name, they can write that on there as well. So next, let's go back to and talk about editing the list and editing some of these students just in case any changes were made. So one of the ways you could edit some of these names is we're going to come up here, we're going to go to create and go to the coverage report. We're going to talk about this coverage report here. So in this coverage report, we'll have the list of the students as well as the grade and classroom they're currently in. Also here, as a little side note right here, you'll see the hashtag number of times in book. This just will tell you how many times that student is currently appearing in the book. So if you ever need to make sure that each student is in the book at least one time outside their portrait, you can always come in here and see how many times they're in the book and what page they currently are in the book. So we're going to go over here and we're going to see, so some of the ways you can edit some of the names is we're going to look here and we're going to see Mary. So we can actually click on these little boxes right here and we can actually edit some of these. So here we're in, I said Mary, but we're in Emily. So we're going to say Emily spells it with an IE instead of a Y. So we can make this correction. And if I just click right here, this is now corrected on the image that's currently in the image library. So we can actually correct these images in real time. And you can go through here and just look for the names. This section right here helps a lot with correcting the names, so you don't have to look at every single folder. You can just look at the names alphabetically and just go through and make the changes this way. You can also sort by last name. You can also sort by like homeroom right here and go through all the homerooms. So this just helps edit things a lot quicker. So we made that change right here. So I can show you that. So we're going to go to create image library. And then we're going to see right here, the student's name has been changed. You can also change the student's name here. So you can also click on the little info button right here in the upper right hand corner, or you can just double click on the image. Over here, you can click on this dotted the circle with the dotted lines in it. edit name, click on edit, and then right here you can make the edit. So you actually go in here, delete the IE, and then just type the Y, save, and then done. And then if you click off, click back, there it is. It's now with a Y. All right. So now we're going to talk about once you get that report back from your staff or get anything back from your helpers or whatever, we're going to talk about things you can do to what to do if you find duplicates, or what to do if you find students that, one, maybe they can't legally be in the book for whatever reason, or maybe it's you have the current photo, but you also have the retake, what to do there and all that. So in this class, here we have a duplicate image. We have the same student, same name. So what we're going to do is one of these, we're just going to do one of two things. One is you can make a folder and call it duplicates right here, and then just click and hold and drag that image over here into duplicates. And then that way it won't be in that folder anymore. Another thing you can do is just clicking on image details, coming over to details right here, come down to preferences. Currently it says use portrait. If we click on that, we have the option of don't use portrait or use no photo. Since we don't want to use this portrait, we're going to click on don't use portrait and then done. Right here in red, you will see don't use. So that will let you know that the system will not use this image. So other things you may want to look for is double check the names, because here we have the same photo, but we have two different names. So definitely watch out, make sure if they're twins, check the names real quick, make sure that it is the two different people. Now, if you have a student, let's say this student right here, that can't legally be in the book, so we're going to come in here to image details, back to preferences. Right here, use on portrait. Well, use portrait. We're going to say use a no photo. This way, the name will be on the pages, but just not the image. And then we're going to click on done, and then you will say use no photo. So this will use the system's default no photo. Now, speaking of no photos, if you have a student that didn't show up for picture day, it's on the list like, hey, don't forget about you know, John Smith. So what you can do is to get a no photo, we're going to go down here to art, by type, borders. Don't ask me why it's in borders. We're going to scroll down here a little bit, and then we're going to come down to no photos. You can select any one of these no photos that you like. So you can select on one, come down here to the bottom left-hand corner, and you can click on download, and then just go to your uh, wherever your pictures are, click on save, and then just save that image. From there, we can go back up to portraits, go back to the folder we were just in. Up here in the upper right hand corner, we can click on upload. You can either click on choose image, and if you will get a little file explorer pop up. You click on pictures, and then click on this picture and click on open. Or if you already have this open, you can just click and hold and drag this into the dotted line right here, and that will start the upload right here. Once this is upload, to tag this image, it's very simple. Come up to image details. All you have to do is just click on the image, and you will see this box pop up. So again, just click on the image, and this box pops up. Don't worry about this little question mark or anything, or exclamation point, or whatever it is pops up. Don't worry about that. You don't have to concern yourself with it. What this just means is there's no image linking this person into the coverage report. That's the only thing that um, this means. So we're going to click on Undefine right here, and then we're going to click on Create New Person. We'll type in the name. All right, and all it needs is first, last name. That's it. Click on Save, and then click on Done. If we move back, we'll see right here that this person has fallen into alphabetical order by last name in the image library, and this image is tagged. Um, Speaking of tagging, you can tell your images are tagged. Here in the bottom left-hand corner, you will see like a small picture of their face and a teal circle right here. If it's not tagged, the teal circle should be a red circle instead of teal. To move any images, like I said, all you have to do is click and hold, drag it to any one of the files here, and just let go. So we want to drag it right here, just let go, and you'll get this little pop-up. It will say either move or cancel. And then once you click move, that image will be moved. For any reason you do not get that pop-up right there, please check. You will see your URL right here. Here, let me refresh. Right here in the upper left-hand corner next to your URL, you will see pop-ups and redirects allowed. If it's not allowed, that's why you're not seeing that move option pop up, because that is an actual separate pop-up from the main system. So make sure that is enabled, or make sure your building IT person enables it. All right, making sure we have everything here. We have no photos, toggling no photos, no photo clip art. All right. So let's go into actually moving these onto pages here real quick. So I'm going to go up to Create New Page Designer. That will take you back to the last page you were just editing. Right. So when we get ready to put these images on the actual page, we will need what's called a flow element on there, so we can flow these images from your list and the image and their names onto the page. So we're going to go over here to flow here on the left. Now here at the very top of flow, we'll have 6 different options right here. Different options require different ways to get them to work. So the first one, we're going to take the traditional names to the side. We're going to click and hold. We're going to drag that over to the page. And then we're going to take the other one that's popular. It's the names underneath. We're going to click and hold and drag these to the page. Now immediately you can see there are two differences here. One is you have on the left you have a lot of them, a lot of boxes, but on the right you have very few boxes, but they're larger boxes. There'll be, like I said, two different ways of handling this, two different ways of getting these to fit your need. First, let's talk about the ones on the left. So after clicking the ones on the left, you will see a toolbar open up here at the top. When we click off, it goes away. We click on these boxes, it comes back. On this toolbar, you will see by default AYT Palladio, that's the font. If you want to change the font, you have to change the font color, font sizes, and anything else to the flow element before you flow. Once you flow, it's locked in place. You would have to reset the flow and then do what you need to do and then flow them back on again. So here you can always change it. So I'll change it to my favorite font right here, Missouri Heavy. Then you can always change the font size. And they are in even numbers. If you want to do odd numbers, all you have to do is click inside, delete that, and then just type in the odd number and then click enter. Right here is the coloring. You have all the different colors right here, and you can always click on a different color, or you can just leave it the way it is right there. The stroke, that just puts an outline on each one of these photo boxes right here, and you can also change the size. 3 is probably the max. 3, 4, depending on the size of the box, it's probably the max you want to go. Depending on the font, you may be able to bold it, italic, or underline it. Then right here is probably the most important one. Right here, these are your flow options. When you click on this, one of the first things you want to do is uncheck automatic, and here's why. With automatic still checked, when I go to lower the number of rows, you're going to see that these boxes are going to start stretching, and that's because as you lower the number of rows, these boxes are going to want to stay in this frame right here. So they're going to stretch in order to stay inside this dotted yellow line right here. When I uncheck automatic and I start to decrease the number of rows, then you'll see that the rows at the bottom, just everything goes up, and I can make this dotted yellow line a lot smaller. Your portrait dimensions, here we can make the boxes taller, wider. If you go to start doing that right here, you can get this little pop-up that says they can't make them any wider, can't make them any taller. That's because this dotted yellow line also wants to stay inside this blue line right here. So in order to get these boxes set up the way we want, we're going to have to reduce the number of rows. And if we look over here real quick under name format, first last, it will tell us we have 22 images. So we need at least enough boxes to handle 22 images. You won't be able to get the exact number right here, but you may be able to get like 25. It's just the other 3 will go into a hidden state once you flow, and you won't see those other boxes. So we can go 5 and 5. So right here, we have the number of boxes that we need. And if we click on save, this red box right here should update to tell us how many available positions we have. All right, and oh, here, let me change my start and stop. There we go. So right here, it tells us 25 available positions, and that red box has gone away. That tells me that I have enough positions that I can actually flow these pictures as they are right now. But if you want to uh, change up like the height and the width, make these a little bit bigger and take up a little bit more of the space right here, we just come back to flow options, and we can make these a little bit wider, maybe a little bit taller. And if you want to, you can actually click on the inside here and actually tweak it a little bit more. So maybe I just want to go 0, and then come in here, make that a 0, and then maybe just bring these up a little bit more right there. And then my name width, maybe I want to go a little bit more name width. And the name width will just allow more room right here for the names. Some schools may have students with longer names, and so you may want to increase the name width just a little bit to accommodate that. Then once I'm happy with the way they're set up and the way they're rested here on the page, then I can come over, make sure the category is the teacher I want to flow, name format first last. That means it's the first name first, last name last. 22 images, 22 remain because we haven't flown any. Now they start and stop, that's your page. So we want to start on page 4, stop on page 4. We have 25 available positions. That's plenty of positions. We're going to click on this purple button right here with the word flow on it. And once we do that, it's going to, if you get this little pop-up right here, it's going to ask you to save. Before you flow, make sure you save your pages. That way the system knows that there's been changes to it. So there we go. Um, we have the students and the teacher on there. Here is the no photo, and let me zoom in on this. So there is the no photo that we selected here at the bottom. And then here right in the middle, you'll see this no photo available. That's the default one. The students' names are on here. So you can see everything is right where it needs to be. All right, so we're going to, if any time you need to reset, all you have to come over here, click on the gray button and just reset the images. If you have another student that comes in and you need to add them to it, all you have to do is double click on here. You will see these little eyes in the upper right hand corner. If we click on the one, we can actually bring that back because these were the three that went into a hidden state. So we can actually bring those back and then just save. And then those 25 are now back. So let's come over here to the left side right here. So on the left side, the way these are different with the names underneath them, you'll see that the boxes are a little bit larger. So we're going to go over here to flow options, uncheck automatic, and then a little tip for you. If you click on the little thumbnail right here, you can actually lock this flow element in place. So if you click off of it, it doesn't go away. You can just click back on, and then there's the flow element options right there. It's now clickable. So the difference between this one and the other one, with the other one, the rows and columns had to be adjusted first. With this one, the height and width has to be adjusted before we can add rows and columns. So here we can kind of take away just a little bit here, a little bit here, and then maybe a little bit more. Going to up here to the columns, we can add one there. Can't add one there. So um, one additional thing with this one is you'll see portrait spacing. You'll see vertical is 3. That the spacing is between the top of this one right here and then the bottom where the names are. So that's the space right here. It's the space in between each row. So we can actually decrease that a little bit. See if we can add another one. Nope. So let's go in here and change that to a 0. And then let's change this to a 0. All right. Let's knock this down by 1. There we go. Now we can add those. So once we have everything that we want, you can also, right here to portrait share or portrait shape, you can also change it to a circle, pentagon, triangle, so you can change the shapes as well. Rectangle is the only one where you can come down here to rounded corner and actually round off the corners. Probably, depending on the size, probably about 12 to 15 is pretty good. So once you have all that, then you can place these anywhere you need them. Make sure the category is the teacher you want, and then come down to start and stop. We want to start on page 5, stop on page 5. Then we want to save. That way the system knows that changes have been made to the page. Here we have 25. Click on flow, and there we go. We have the pictures and the names already on the page. Now let's talk about flowing on multiple pages. So we're going to bring these back, and then I'm actually going to delete these. Now you can copy and paste these. So if you make one on a page and you're happy with the way it looks, instead of having to redo this again and again and again, all you have to do is come up here to edit and copy, edit and then paste, and then you can make another one and move it over to the other side. You can also click on this, come up over here to the far right over here, and you'll see the word you'll see this little symbol. If you hover over it, it says duplicate. You can click on that and just duplicate what you just did, and then move that over to the side right here. We're going to go over here to staff, and you can click inside this start and stop. So we're going to say start on 4, stop on 5. All right, and we're going to click on save. Now there are 60 images and I have 50 positions. Um, that's fine. For the sake of just showing that you can flow on two, I'm going to ignore the last 10 here. So we're going to click on flow. Now, if for any reason you get this pop up right here, it's just warning you that, hey, you have less positions on the page than you have images, or yeah, you got more images than you do positions on the page for them. But we're going to go ahead and click on flow. And then right here, you can see you can actually flow on multiple pages. So if we wanted to, we can actually reset the flow. Um, Copy this one, go over to and save. Come over to this page, move those over here, come over here. We can click on staff, start on 4, stop on page 6. Here we have 75 available positions. Click on flow. And then you can actually see we have page 4, 5, and 6 with staff images. All right. So one of the things you can do, um, if for any reason, and let's reset the flow. Let's change. There we go. Maybe that will work. Nope. There's something I want to show you how to fix because you may run into this issue right here. Here we go. So we have a teacher right here with a red X on her name. And so what that means is there's more text than that box can display. So there's multiple different ways to fix this. The first one is you can reset, click on the blue flow element here, come over to font size, and you can actually lower that font size down by 1. Save and flow. If you still see it's red X, then just reset the flow and then just keep going until um, just keep going on that text size until it's down and it's not an issue anymore, until the name will actually fit there. The other thing you can do is you can click on the flow element here after you reset it. Come back to flow options, and then here on vertical spacing, you can actually increase that spacing a little bit more. So then that way, maybe the name will fit a little bit better. The other thing you can do is after they're flowed, and this probably be one of the last things to do before you start submitting your book, is you can come over here to flow options, and then here it takes you automatically to expand flow. By expanding the flow, you now turn this flow element into individual image frames and individual text boxes, which means you will no longer be able to flow in or out of it. That's why we wait. This is probably the last resort right here. You can click I understand right here, click expand. Once you do that, like I said, these are now individual instead of one big group right here. These are now individuals. So we can now select what we want. Right. All right. Let's see. That should be everything. Oh, one more thing before I forget. If you have names on the left right here and you want to switch those over, it's a very simple thing to do. Just go to your flow options here. There at the bottom, you'll see name options. Currently, we have names on right horizontal. If we click on this, we can come up here to names on left horizontal, and it just switches those names. Okay. Some quick troubleshooting as well. One of the things I will suggest you do is check your background because after you flow, definitely check your background because right now I can't see those names, and this may be one of the things that get your book um, potentially sent back to you to get fixed. Because right now, I mean, even at 400% zoom, it's still too hard to see that name on that surface. So this is something that you can fix either different ways. One is to simply just change the color of the text, and then you can flow it and see the names right there. So that's one thing that definitely check after you flow. The next thing to check is the name, the spelling. So you just zoom in here and take the time to look at the names, make sure all the names are on there, make sure all the images are on there. One thing to do is come back here under name font or name format. You'll see 60 images flowed, 0 remaining images. Make sure that says 0 remaining before you leave the page and go on to the next page. A lot of times we'll see like maybe like one student was left on there, and uh, we hate to see that if one student was left off of there. Or hate to see that you now have to explain why one student was left off of there. So definitely, please make sure that you check to make sure it says 0 remaining images before moving on to that next page. All right, so at this time, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and take yourself off mute and ask, or you can ask them in chat. All right, so I'll go ahead and read this outro real quick. I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. The demonstrations of the functions related to the creation of the portrait pages should eliminate some time, should eliminate some of the trial and error that occur when working on the yearbook. Printing portrait sheets and editing the class data ahead of time should result in better accuracy on some of the most important pages of a yearbook. Please feel free to join us next time at the creation of activity and candid pages. I want to thank you all very much for joining us today. And if you have any questions, like I said, you can ask them now, or you can always email in and or call in and ask them then.